Hello, and welcome back to the Olive Oil Critic. It is such a pleasure to be able to share so many delicious, fresh, extra virgin olive oils with you. And today is no exception. Today we're going to be tasting a Taggiasca from the olive truck. I just realized that this label is flipped around. Anyway, the Taggiasca is up here on the lid. And then, of course, this is from the olive truck, which is such an innovative and wonderful company out of California. And one of the things that I love the most, of course, is that to make a high quality olive oil, you need to ensure that there is a very short pick to extraction time. So, pick to extraction from when the olive leaves the tree to being oil needs to be as short as possible. And when it gets long, that's where you have, risk of fermentation, and so many defects can happen if there's too much time between the tree and the mill. So, of course, Sam decided to solve that problem in the best possible way and had a mill designed to fit in the back of a transport truck. And that now goes to the olive grove. So that way the olives don't have to get picked and then sent to the mill literally comes to the grove, which is just such an innovative way of tackling that challenge. So Taggiasca typically is a very buttery, very mild, creamy olive oil that is from Liguria, from the north of Italy, and it's usually grown on the like terraced hillsides. And goodness, it can be such a pain to be able to pick those olives. They're really, really challenging because of the terrain. So often they wait quite a while before they pick, and they're very, very tiny olives. So they wait a while again to make sure that there's a good like oleogenesis has happened, that there's a good yield and a good volume. But that consequence is often that the oil isn't very stable and that it doesn't last very long. It doesn't have a very long shelf life. So I'm very curious to try this Taggiasca, which is from California, not from Liguria. Same olive variety, but again, terroir plays such a huge part, as well as harvest timing and milling and the mill in the way the olive oil tastes. So it's not just terroir that plays into the flavor profile, but it is a huge part. So again, this olive is grown in California, and then it's milled at the olive truck and bottled, of course, there. And it's picked a little bit earlier than traditional Taggiasca in Italy. It's picked in October, so will definitely be more of a green oil than what you're used to from Liguria. All right, let's give it a smell. Ah, it's so fresh. It smells like fresh mint, a little bit of eucalyptus in there, some fresh cut grass. It's really green. Also, notes of artichoke for sure in there as well. Hmm. It's much more intense and more green than I expected. And it's actually quite spicy, which is rare for Taggiasca. So this is definitely an early harvest expression of this olive. It's quite green. There's a nice green peppercorn, black peppercorn finish on the back of your palate, even a hint of like mustard greens. It's quite spicy. But lots of bitter green on the sides of the palate. Again, that eucalyptus comes through, that mint, a little bit of fennel, some Pinocchio, as well as green tea, kind of like a tannic mint green tea blend is what is happening just on the sides of my cheek. And then, of course, that beautiful peppery finish. But those green notes definitely come forward. So it's a very green, fruity oil, definitely intense, more intense than I would ever expect a Taggiasca to be. And this oil would be absolutely delicious on like toast with some tomatoes rubbed on it. I definitely use this with some bolder cheeses as well. And, you know, again, put on bread and then like some good chèvre that has some good funk to it would be delicious with this oil. It would really pair well with those bitter green tasting notes. And again, that mint, that eucalyptus really comes through. I'm sure that if you drizzled this over just a hot bowl of pasta, those notes would come alive. This would be delicious with pesto, a fresh pasta, tossed with fresh pasta or fresh pesto or gremolata, any of those kind of herbaceous pasta sauces that are more herb forward than tomato based. And I would say I would stay away from creamy sauces with this one, but it could be really good with just a fresh green salad as well. Definitely versatility with this oil, but I love the character. And again, just how different it is from the typical Tajascan or typical Ligurian Taggiasca olive. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a little bit more about some fresh olive oil, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.